Iron Man. This is Tony Stark. Tony is usually as normal a guy as you or me, but with a lot more money. When Tony puts on his special armor, he becomes more powerful than most people. He even calls himself something different. When he puts his armor on, Tony is the invincible Iron Man. But Tony wasn't born a superhero. He hasn't always fought to protect people. But with villains on the loose such as Titanium Man and Ironmonger, who both use Tony's technology for their own evil purposes, Tony feels it's his responsibility to stop them. But if you really want to know how Iron Man was born, we need to start with the man behind the masks. We need to start with Tony. Tony had so much money that he could go anywhere he wanted. He loved to have fun, and he loved the finer things in life. But Tony also worked hard. He was a brilliant inventor. He knew all sorts of things about science. He loved to work with magnetic fields. Using them, he created a powerful energy force that he called repulsor technology. The military was interested in Tony's work. In fact, it was a secret army lab that Tony's life was forever changed. An enemy army had attacked, and Tony was badly hurt. Since Tony was famous, he was recognized right away. The enemy knew all about his inventions. They threw him in a prison room filled with electronic and mechanical equipment. They wanted him to create a mighty weapon for them. To make things worse, before the enemy left the tiny cell, they told Tony that his heart had been hurt in the blast. He did not have much longer to live. Tony soon found he was not alone in the cell. The enemy had captured another famous scientist, Professor Yin Sen. The enemy wanted the two men to work together on the great weapon. But Professor Yin Sen had other ideas. He knew a way to keep Tony alive. The two men worked tirelessly to create something that would save Tony's life and at the same time help them to escape the prison. Finally, the men completed the device that from now on Tony would always need to wear on his chest to keep his heart beating. But that wasn't all they had created. Using Tony's repulsors, they had built boots that could help a man fly, gloves that could crush steel, and a helmet that could protect a man from the most terrible blast. Tony put on the armor and proved that no walls could hold the Iron Man. It wasn't long before the enemy realized they were fighting a losing battle. Having escaped from prison and saved Professor Yin Sen, Tony flew back home. But almost as soon as he got there, he realized that he could now help where others couldn't. Tony to the rescue. He was strong, unstoppable, frightening. Maybe a little too frightening. Tony had an idea. Tony thought that Iron Man needed something as smooth and stylish as he was. He needed to create a lighter suit. All he needed was for his chest plate to remain attached. Everything else could be changed. Soon Tony perfected his armor, and the invincible Iron Man was born again. And as Iron Man, Tony never stops fighting. He protects people at home and around the world. And when he's not fighting for justice as Iron Man, Tony runs his company, Stark Industries. Stark Industries may need Tony to be a businessman, but with new villains attacking every day, The world needs Tony to be an Iron Man. The end.